Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. You guys will not believe it. I've been talking for 10 minutes and I forgot to hit the start button. I was wondering in the chat why everyone's saying I'm late when in fact I've been talking for 10 minutes already. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right, well, today we got to talk about Bitcoin's rally and what's going on with everything. I feel like, again, now I have to repeat everything I said. It was good. You guys missed a good show already. I was about to end it. All right, let's do this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're starting out the day at 111, and ETH is again around 4,600, and Sol is above 200. So we got some good movers. Good movers today. Bitcoin is still slightly down from where we want it to be. Okay, but the alts are still pushing forward. So that's good. Looks like it's a little bit green today, the US market. It was mixed. I think people are just waiting for Nvidia's earnings, okay, which is after the market. And if they report something good, it's going to carry a lot of sectors. Tech, obviously, but I think crypto will also be carried if they have a very good report. And I think most people do think they will have a good report. I mean, they are just the leaders in AI, along with OpenAI and base NVIDIA. These two are the powerhouses. One is hardware, one is software, and none of the AI companies can really do anything without NVIDIA chips. And you know what? We'll see. We will see. What else is there? There's still a lot of controversy about this, whether Trump has authority to fire this governor, Lisa Cook. So now both sides are waiting in courts to rule. So we'll see. It's a weird situation. It's a really weird situation because Fed board or governors can only be fired for cause, but what is that cause, right? So Lisa Cook says she's gonna be suing, and both sides are waiting, and then in the meantime no one knows if she's actually working or not. She says she's gonna continue working, but no one can answer whether or not she's going into the office or whether she's allowed to go into the office. No one is answering. So it's kind of a weird situation. I guess we'll see. But the other appointee, Stephen Moran, the Senate's gonna hold a hearing to see if they want to allow him in. I don't see why they would say no. So basically, if you have two new Fed governors that are pro cutting, then that's really good. That's really good. So right now we have a 90% chance in September for a 25 basis point cut. October, we got 46% for another cut. And in December, we have a 38% chance for another cut. So it's looking like right now, markets are predicting 3 cuts. But who knows? With some very pro low interest rate Fed governors, maybe we get a 50 basis point cut snuck in there. That's what I'm hoping. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Outside of that, mortgage rates are still elevated, which is no good. People are buying less houses, getting less mortgages because of it. And long-term yields continue to rise up. And this is what Trump really hates, because the U.S. government's going to end up paying hundreds of billions of dollars more in interest payments because they have to issue more bonds. This is how we pay back debt, by borrowing more money. A lot of bonds are maturing. We had to issue more bonds to pay them back. And we have to issue a lot of bonds to pay interest payments, which is over $1 trillion per year now. $1 trillion. Again, it's all a vicious cycle built on a house of cards, which is why we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created for this very reason, because everything almost collapsed back in 2008. All right. Speaking of Bitcoin, the inflow for yesterday, 88 million, not too shabby. Could be better. Could be better, but we have many giants coming in every single day. You got a corporate giant, Kindly MD, that's looking to issue $5 billion worth of stock so that they can build a Bitcoin treasury. $5 billion. So you have billions upon billions every week, right? Coming in and loading up on Bitcoin. Metaplanet doing the same thing. They're actually fundraising internationally so that they can buy more Bitcoin. Their ultimate goal is to hit 21,000. And they're going to do whatever it takes to get there. And then you got H100 Group that just purchased another 46, and they're almost up to 1,000 Bitcoin, right? So obviously you have a lot of companies still getting involved. So this is nowhere near the top, okay? Nowhere near the top. In fact, what's happening right now is very similar to what has happened before huge rallies. That's right. That's right. So take a look at this. In 2024, a lot of you guys remember this. We were going sideways for basically the entire year. I remember it. A lot of people were getting very frustrated for from January all the way to, well, no, this is 2023 to 2024, but 2024 also the same thing. But 2023 to 2024, basically sideways movement all around until we started finally moving. But before we broke out and started that huge rally upwards, Bitcoin did dip a little bit. It touched upon that 100 MA, and then it recovered and kept going, right? And right now, if you look at it, kind of in that same pattern. It looks pretty darn similar, right? So, again, history doesn't always repeat, but it does tend to rhyme. So we have seen movements like this before. Whales or market makers shaking out the fearful hands before letting the market rise higher. We had many of these retests, even this year, last year, the year before. We always have them. And then we move forward, right? That's how it works. And with the massive accumulation from these companies, you could see it. You could just see it. You could feel it. You know it's going to happen, right? So right now, yeah, we're stuck at this in 111, almost back to 112, but in no time, we will get back to our 120s and make a new high. In the meantime, while we're waiting, it does seem like we got some alts, like ETH, that is really gaining strength right now. 30 billion in ETF inflows. Man, that's a whole lot really quickly. Very quickly. I don't know if this is considered one of the fastest. It probably is. And you got so many companies coming in and now building ETH treasuries as well. It's like the same playbook as the Bitcoin treasury that has been established by Saylor and others, right? Same playbook. And ETF inflows are enormous. 4 straight days. Look at it. 287, 337, 443 yesterday, 455. The inflow on ETH ETF is now much bigger than even Bitcoin's, which is crazy to think about. This has never happened before. It's like a switch has flipped from like three weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, and man, now the inflows are crazy. Like I've been saying, you got a lot of ETH treasury companies. Joseph Loveland, I mean, obviously he should. He's a founder of Ethereum. So his Sharplink Gaming spends another $252 million adding to ETH stockpile. Nearly 800,000 worth $3.6 billion. Tom Lee's company BitMine has $8 billion. Again, these are B with billion. A lot of ETH being held. And Tom Lee predicts that ETH will get to 12,000. 12,000 by the end of this cycle. And I said this too yesterday. I think that's very reasonable because you're basically just going a little bit past 2x, right? Doubling. Because Bitcoin, if it doubles, ETH is going to double at least. It's probably going to do triple. When it does triple, somewhere between 12 to 15,000. So we'll see, especially with very strong institutional inflows. Outside of that, what else? I saw this. I did not mean to click on that. Trump associated project, World Liberty Financial, is launching soon, September 1st. And my gut tells me this is going to be on fire. The reason being, yesterday, Trump Media, another company, and Crypto.com created a crypto CRO treasury. And Crypto.com, or their CRO token, went up like 50%. So this is probably going to go nuts once it comes out. And then Google's going to come out their own L1 soon. That's interesting. If they officially put out a public L1 with a token, that is going to go to the moon. They're probably going to pull out one, I don't know, maybe it could be a L2 or something for ETH or something like that. But if they put out their own L1 with a token, a Google token, that's backed by Google, that's going to be insane. Really insane. I'm looking forward to it. All right. That's it. I guess we just all have to wait for NVIDIA earnings today. Let's see. Coinbase is up slightly. MicroStrategy down. Robinhood down. Let's see. NVIDIA is down slightly. Yesterday I was doing very well. So we'll see. Everyone's waiting. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Hey, speaking of CRO, it just like broke out some more. I mean, look at that. After announcement of that CRO treasury, it did this, and then it kind of went sideways, and then boom, and it's going more now. It's kind of crazy. So this is the reason why I think World Liberty Financial is gonna go nuts, because it's anything that like Trump touches right now, at least with crypto wise, is doing well, very well. ETH going sideways, waiting to come back to all-time high. Sol is moving 205 now. The recent high was 213. But if it could break 219, that's when, you know, its previous high is around the corner. Cardian Ham asks, can you see us hitting 125 to 130K in late September? Late September? Yeah, of course. Of course. Hey, when things move, they move very quickly. We could get back to 125 in a single week, right? And you're talking about a whole month. Yeah, it could definitely happen, especially after the rate cuts. The first rate cut, I should say. Jeff Warden says, September tends to be a down month. Do you think we'll have a positive month if Powell cuts the interest rate? Yes. You know what? This cycle has proven that you can't just rely on previous trends. There has been many. In fact, I could just show it. I forgot where I go. Calendar. It's one of these. Order book? No, I don't want that. Oh, somewhere in here you get to see the calendar. I forgot where. Is it a financial calendar? No. It's like a Bitcoin calendar. Bitcoin dominance, profitable days. Maybe it's this. No. There's somewhere where you see like the months. But basically, what my point is, there were months earlier this year that looked like, hey, they should be bad months. But then it turned out to be good months. So, yeah. Is Circle still worth buying? You know what? I've given up on Circle. I don't hold any Circle anymore. It's too volatile. Circle moves like a meme coin. So, you know, for my stocks and options specifically, I want more or less volatility, I should say. NVIDIA, look at NVIDIA. I mean, besides April, which everything dipped, but it's just been on fire. Every single earnings have been really good, so we'll see. I think their earnings will be good. The only thing that scares me is forecasting. A lot of these companies, they forecast like, oh, we anticipate next year maybe a little bit slower because of this and that. And Jensen may say something about tariffs and the revenue he has to share. So that's the only thing that may spook markets. Ronnie says, strange to think that even with our hype view of crypto, NVIDIA moved from 93 to 180 since April. More than entire market cap of Bitcoin. Well, that's true. That shows you a couple things. Number one, how small Bitcoin still is. Okay, so there's plenty of room to grow. And number two, yeah, don't doubt markets overall. Yeah, going into April sucked, right? Bitcoin went from 110 down to 73, but then look at us now, right? Almost everything did that. So it sucked when the tariffs got announced, and then we had a new war that brought things lower, but markets tend to forget really quickly and will pass things really fast, faster than you would think. So we recovered up like a V-shaped recovery so quickly. So look at Robinhood. Look at Robinhood. This is why I'm so bullish on Robinhood. Yeah, it fell down in April, but look at since April how much it's moved. It's crazy. Coinbase is just not the same. I don't know what it is. It went down in April. It recovered up, but now it's back down again. Like Coinbase, I guess, very, very similar. It's not even similar to Bitcoin. It's similar to MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy just ain't moving either. Man, look at that. CRO. Wow. Despite this recent jump, look at how far off they still are from their all-time high. They're still down. They were like at $1. Yeah. So this is nuts. This goes to show you how nutty 2021 altcoin season was. They still have to do a 300%. They have to triple to get back to their 2021 high. You King might ask if I'm still high on STX. You know, I still am, but I think things just changed after they moved to their new model. Because before, it was very based on, I mean, they still have the biggest programming layer for Bitcoin, but now they have their own chain and stuff like that. And a lot of people were turned off when they moved their consensus. Before it would follow Bitcoin blocks, now it's like their own. So it seemed like ever since that upgrade, that Nakamoto upgrade, things just changed. It's like Bitcoin maxis start not liking it. I don't know. There's more to it than that, but I still like them. I guess I need to do more research into it in terms of how things changed with their upgrade. They said that it was going to be better, everything's faster and so forth, but it seemed like they deviated away more from just using Bitcoin as a consensus layer. John Alley asked, I came in late, so if I missed, why is Sol doing so well in the last 24? John, you need to like watch more of my streams or more of my videos. I've been talking about it a lot. In fact, yesterday's video, night video, I talked about it. There's no specific one reason. It's just because the whole market is coming back and Sol dominates with the metrics. and memes. So, and ETFs coming, and treasury companies. There are a lot of reasons. If I use a Tangent wallet and do I like it, I have it. I've used it. It's not bad. It's not bad. It removes private key away and just basically makes everything, the card that you get is like the most important thing. The encrypted key and everything. It's not bad. It's just it's different than anything else. Oh, you could have keys as option too? Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it's in there. I mean, everything has to have, you know, recovery phrase or recovery key, but I'm sure they just hide it in some way. The convenience of it is not having to deal with it and using the card instead. So, let's see if there's anything new. Someone posted this. This is inside my Discord, guys. Crypto Pulse Discord. Someone posted this. 50% in Bitcoin, 10% in Say, 10% Doge, 10% BNB, and the rest. 50% Bitcoin is good. Say is not bad. Doge is not bad. BNB is not bad. So that's 30% right there. And then Jupiter, Sol, XRP, Radium. I think Sol definitely should be higher. I think XRP should be higher. Yeah. Like I like Sol better than Say. I like XRP better than Doge. BNB tends to be stagnant at times, although it just broke all-time high recently. It's not bad, but I would make some changes. Crypto Moose says, I bought a treasure 12 months ago, but scared to open it because I'm not CPU savvy. Computer savvy? Why do you buy it? Just download Trust Wallet onto your phone and use that first. Get familiar with it. It's free. Then move to a treasure. The clippings in here. I told you guys, hey, I'm looking to expand my library and my reach. So if you want to help with clipping my content and helping them go viral, I'll pay you for that. I started one. I told you guys about it. Started it. You have to upload to WAP and then it'll just track everything for you. So that's also in Discord now, in case any of you guys are interested. Had like 40 submissions already, and some of them are making money already. But really looking for people that are motivated and that will like actually spend some time and not just repost my own videos, full videos or my shorts. Looking for people that can actually spend some time and do some quality ones. Chit Chat is asking, by the end of the bull run, what percent of your portfolio are you considering selling? 30, or will you swap some alts into Bitcoin? I probably ended a bull run probably up to 50, I would say. And most of that will just be Bitcoin. I do plan on selling large amount of alts. But again, if we don't have crypto winter, it could cost me, right? So I guess I'll have to see. My plan is probably up to 50%. Yeah, I just have to read the room, I guess, at that time. Um, and it's not too far off. Probably sometime in November, December. As a chart of ETH. This is showing the downside, but where's the upside? I don't see it. Man, CRO is still going. There's way too much FOMO on CRO right now. You know, funny story, Mike. So there was Kevin O'Leary and two other investors bought this card, the Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan auto, for $13 million, all-time high for a trading card. God, it's just not stopping right now. Funny story. My friend, one of my best friends, he's a huge sports card collector, and he knows all like the OGs of sports card collectors. He knows the person that originally had that card and sold it 10 years ago, in 2000, more than 10 years ago, in 2013. I think, what did he say he sold it for? Hold on. He sold that card in 2013 for $170,000, which is still a lot. 170,000 back in 2013, that was like unheard of before. But since 2013, it went from 170,000 to 13 million, basically. Yeah, had he put that 170,000 in Bitcoin in 2013, he would be a billionaire now. But I don't think he did that. But this is why my friend is so into sports cards, because they're really good investments. Like, especially old Jordans, Jordan autos, which are extremely rare. Anything old, you know, like not super old. We're not talking about like Magic Johnson or Larry Bird, you know, not that old, but like Jordans, Jordan era stuff, really hot. Curry rookies, LeBron rookies, super hot. LeBron autos are very rare too, because they're both LeBron and Jordan signed a contract with Upper Deck, and they can't sign any new autos without being on an Upper Deck card. And then Upper Deck doesn't have the license to produce basketball cards. So basically, that's why there's no new autos. So the old ones are extremely rare. Yeah, I'm afraid CROs will crash. I mean, it's going up way too fast. I know a lot of people want to just FOMO in right now. I had a long that I just closed, because I kind of figured it would break out some more, but this is going like a little too crazy. I think it's going to correct soon, so it might correct all the way down to like 24 cents. So if you have a long open or you're thinking of creating one, you may want to wait it out. This is like this is like right before things usually come down. I like Water says, I have an entire 2010 Hawks team plus Dominique Wilkins hand. Hawks just ain't that popular, and Dominique is just not that popular either. But that's cool. Really good to be, you know, hanging in your basement. But in terms of cards, if you guys want to get into cards, just start looking for Jordan rookies, Flair rookies, and a star one, and any autos. Like really, and there's a big difference with cards, with autos, is if it's signed on card versus sticker. The on card gets a lot more value, or holds its value a lot better, or in this case, it'll appreciate better than on sticker. And obviously, there's serial number too. If you get like a 1 of 1 or 1 of 10 or 1 of 100, they're going to be a lot more valuable than non-serial number cards. And the grading, of course, affects things. There's a few things you got to watch out for. Yeah, this is the card, in case you guys wanted to know. And that one isn't even graded well. It's graded 6, which is horrible, but that's a 1 of 1 card. And this exiguous, I can't even pronounce that. It's a very like exclusive brand from back in the day. That's horrible too, because MJ's signature actually went above like the place that it's supposed to be in. And Logo Man's, they call it Logo Man on card, are super rare too. Tom Brady also, I'm told, is really into sports cards now. So he wanders a lot of the shows, like at National and all the smaller regional ones. He shows up all the time now, and I guess he's really bored in his life. But he's really into cards now, and a lot of other athletes are too. They just don't have the time. Man, CRO just does not want to come down. It came down and just kept going. Still, I'd be very cautious. If any of you guys throwing longs at this, be very careful or set a stop loss, because this could come down really hard, really fast. Bitcoin looking like it wants to break 112, which is good. ETH is still going. Sol is still going. AVAX having a decent day. AVAX maybe picking up a little bit. Man, it's not stopping. Sam says, Why do you want to come down? I have a good bag. I wanted to come down so I could throw some longs at it. There's been many times where I look at charts like this. I'm like, all right, I'm going to put some, you know, throw a 5x and 10x, and then boom, it drops down and you instantly lose thousands of dollars. So I want to stable out. I closed my long this morning a little bit too early, I guess. But it's still, like I showed, it's still 300% off from its previous high. But it's good. Everything is green today. Look at Sol's back to 205. Coinbase is in a green finally. All right, guys. I did a double segment today because you guys didn't hear the first one. So overall today, it's pretty good. Good recovery so far. Still waiting for that big NVIDIA earnings. They'll come after market. We'll see what it does. Fingers crossed. It's going to be good, and I think it will be. Outside of that, stay strong, guys. We got a lot of great things going on in the space. Obviously, the next rally is right around the corner, and we got some great movers already, and some big moves are being made. So you're in the right game. You're in the right game. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight. Usual time as always. Make sure you join my Discord as well. All right?